Good day, everyone. Welcome back. It's Wednesday, November 19, and oh boy, do we have a packed show for you today. I'm your host, Miko Santos, and we are diving deep into the absolute chaos that is Australian politics right now. Victorian Liberals' complete meltdown. Federal Liberals trying desperately to convince everyone they are not having a meltdown, and a tragic tech failure that raising some very serious question about who's accountable when emergency services don't work. So buckle up, grab your coffee, and let's get into it. Okay, so where do we even start with Victoria? How about this? The Victorian Liberals have burned through three leaders since December. Three. Yeah. Three. 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 That's not a political party. That's a revolving door at a department store. Yesterday morning, it what can be described as the fastest leadership coup I've ever seen. Brad Battin walked into a party room meeting around 8:30 a.m. as opposition leader and walked about 35 minutes later as another backbencher. Now, here's what makes this absolutely wild. Just days ago, polling came out showing Batton was actually ahead for the first time since he took over on December 27. He was in an election-winning position. You'd think that would buy you some job security, right? Wrong. The party room voted on a spill motion. He lost. Before you could say political instability. Jess Wilson was elected unopposed as the new leader. Unopposed. That's how done they will be with the Batton experiment. So who is Jess Wilson? Well, she's 35 years old, a first-term MP, represents the seat of Kew, and get this, she's the first female opposition leader the Victorian Liberal Party has had in its 71-year history. Let that sink in. 71 years. She's a moderate. She's a millennial, according to the insiders. She's the hope of the side. One Liberal sources told reporter, quote, "If the party can unite behind her, she is the best chances to win the next election." Now, Jess Wilson came out swinging this yesterday morning, and here's what she said.
This morning, the Liberal Party room elected me as parliamentary leader unopposed. And I congratulate the team behind me, Sam Groff, Bev MacArthur and Evan Mulholland, people who represent all parts of Victoria. From the outset, can I thank Brad Battin. Brad is a tireless supporter and worker for the Liberal Party, and we thank him for his work as leader over the past 11 months, and I know he will have a key role to play in the team going forward. At the next election, 12 months from now, Victorians have a clear choice. A choice between a tired, out-of-touch Labor government or a new generation Liberal team. And as leader, I have a clear focus. I have clear priorities. One, to get the budget back into control so we can invest in things that matter. Two, to end the crime crisis. Three, to make sure that Victorians can get access to the healthcare that they need and deserve. And four, to give every Victorian the best opportunity to own their own home in this state. They are my priorities, they are my team's clear priorities, and I will work every day for Victorians to make sure at the next election they have a clear alternative, a clear or credible alternative to vote for that gives them hope for the future of Victoria. Thank you.
She laid out 4 priorities: get the budget under control, end the crime crisis, fix healthcare access, and help Victorians own their own homes. Pretty standard opposition playbook, but deliver with energy and conviction. And look, I'll give her this. She didn't waste time. Within that same 35-minute meeting, they also elected Sam Groth as a deputy over David Southwick. Ruth had a rough throat lately, but he's back in the game. Brad Battin, to his credit, was pretty gracious in defeat. He came out and said,
Member of the Victorian Liberal Party, I stand continuously proud in the role that I've done and the things that I've done for the community. The Victorian Liberal Party now has a very clear path to go towards the next election. When I sat in that room just then, and obviously I'm out here now first, so the vote didn't go my way. But what I will tell you is I was sitting there thinking of people like Mark and Tennille who have had people come into their home, and the Victorian Liberal Party need to make sure that we're on path to ensure that we can get into power at the next election, because we need to see genuine change. And we can't just wait for it to happen. I think about the conversations that I've had with Nat Gordon and lost her brother Ash Gordon. Politics isn't about just being inside the parliament. It's actually about people. It's about the people we're supposed to be representing. In the time I've been in this role, it's been an absolute privilege. I actually have an amazing team that work in here. They're fantastic, each and every one of the members in this room, and they'll continue to be. What I'm going to say, just to finish off that statement, I want to wish them all the best, each and every one of them. I look forward to working with them and remaining a strong part of that team. I'm not going to take questions at the moment, but I'm sure that all the great members of the Fourth Estate, if I don't, I'll be more than happy to have a beer with you later, because that's what Brad is, and we'll have a chat over a beer later on. Thank you.
Then he offered to have a beer with journalists later. Classic Brad. You've gotta respect the grace under pressure, even if your colleague just show you the door. But here's my question. Is this stability, or is this just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic? The Victorian Labor government under Jacinta Allan is deeply unpopular. Crime is tough through the roof. The budget is disaster. Infrastructure projects are hemorrhaging money. The Libs should be winning this in a landslide. Instead, they're eating their own. Third leader in less than a year. That doesn't exactly scream ready to govern, does it? Now, Jess Wilson has 12 months to prove she's different. 12 months to unite a fractured party, develop a coherent policy platform, and convince Victorian that the Liberals aren't just a circus act. Can she do it? Maybe. She's young, she's energetic, and frankly, the bar is pretty low right now. But the clock is ticking. Victorian voters have long memories. Speaking of Liberal Party drama, let's zoom out to the federal levels, where Shadow Home Affairs Minister Jonathan Duniam went on Sky News yesterday morning to assure everyone, yes, everyone, that there is absolutely, definitely, 100% no leadership drama happening in Canberra. Which, you know, it's exactly what you say when there's definite leadership drama happening. Jonathan Duniam, or Jono to his mates, joined a morning show yesterday to address the elephant in the room. Is Susan Ley leadership secure? He answered, 100%. I do not question she'll be there at the next election. She'll be leading the party. He doubled down. She is our leader, and support her. She'll be our leader at the next election. There's not much more I can say. Now, do I believe him? Look, I want to, but we've all seen this movie before. Full support in politics is usually code for updating your resume. There have been lots of chatter, that some Libs are switching their support to Andrew Hastie. Since the coalition finally settled their net zero position, Duniam called it much ado about nothing and insisted the party is focused on getting on with the job. Sure, John. Sure. But back to the leadership question. Is Susan Ley safe? For now, probably. But in politics, for now can mean anything from 10 years to 10 minutes. Alright, let's shift gears to something that is absolutely heartbreaking and raises some genuine, terrifying question about technology and accountability. TPG Telecom confirmed yesterday that on November 13, a customer in Sydney using a Libara service on a Samsung device tried to call 000. That's 300, our emergency number, and the call failed. A person died as a result. Let me say that again. Someone tried to call for emergency help. The call didn't go through and they die. TPG's Managing Director and CEO Inaki Berrueta released a statement saying, "Customer safety remains our highest priority. This is a tragic incident, and our condolence and thought are with the individual family and loved ones." So, what the hell happened? According to TPG, early investigation, customer Samsung device was running outdated software that wasn't compatible with making 000 calls on a TPG network. Samsung had identified that certain older devices needed some software updates to enable emergency calling functionality. TPG says they contacted affected customer and told them to update their devices urgently. If customer didn't update within 28 to 35 days, the handsets will be blocked as required under new regulations. And the most recent communication went out on November 7, 6 days before this person died. Now, here's where it gets messy. TPG says the network was fully operational at the time. No outage. They're pointing the finger at outdated Samsung software. But hold a second. If you know certain devices can't make emergency call and you know people still have those devices on your network, how is blocking them after a month good enough? What about the people who didn't see the email, who don't understand tech jargon, who are elderly, or don't speak English as a first language, or just a flat out miss the notification? You telling me the safety net here is we send an email? I'm sorry, but doesn't cut it. This is someone's life. A family is grieving right now because a phone call didn't connect. And while TPG is expressing condolence and saying all the right things, the reality is someone is died because of a compatibility issue that was apparently known and preventable. TPG has notified the Minister for Communication, the New South Wales government, the ACMA, and other regulatory bodies. There will be an investigation. There will be a finger pointing. Samsung will say it's TPG fault. TPG will say it's Samsung fault. And meanwhile, a family is burying a loved one. Here's my take. If you're a telecommunication company and you know that certain devices can access emergency services, you don't give people a month to figure it out. You shoot those devices down immediately or you fix the problem immediately. Because this is unacceptable. And if the regulations say a 28 days window is key, then the regulations are wrong and need to be changed yesterday or today. We entrust these companies with something fundamental: the ability to call for help when our lives are online. If they can't guarantee that, what are we even doing? This is a story going to get bigger. Questions are going to be asked in Parliament. Lawsuits are probably coming, and they should, because someone died trying to call for help and their phone said no. Alright folks, let's wrap this up. Victorian Liberals have new leader again. Jess Wilson have 12 months to prove she's not just another revolving door casualty. Federal Liberals say Everything is fine, no leadership issue here. Just working on migration policy. Nothing to see, move along. And TPG Telecom is facing some very hard question about what happens when emergency services fail and someone pays the ultimate price. Australian politics, everyone, never boring, often infuriating, and occasionally tragic. Thanks for watching today. If you got thought on any of these stories, hit me up on my social media channel and I want to hear from you. Until next time, stay informed, stay skeptical, and for the love of God, make sure your phone can actively call 000. I'll catch you tomorrow. See ya.